Hi, my name is Sten White, and I am doing the text classifier project in the Intro to AI class. And I'm just going to run through it here. So let's share my screen and walk through it. All right. Okay, so here's the assignment. This is actually my second attempt. I'm going to just do it again so I can share a little more insights at the end of my video on my experience. And so here is the platform, and so I did it before, but I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna call it review classifier 2. The project is recognizing text. We're going through positive and negative reviews of an Amazon project and creating a machine learning model. Let's see, I think it's just like that. So, oh, all right, so I can only do one at a time. We're going to delete the old one and just start fresh. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, so we're going to train our model. So we're going to add a positive review label. Should I spell that right? Positive. We're going to do a negative. So we've got two labels. All right. Now we're going to find our product on Amazon. So I was gonna do this tarp one. I was gonna say, oh, one that's got a bit more average of negative, but there's not enough reviews. So let's try this tarp. Although it's got some pretty positive reviews, but it's got 12,000 reviews, so there should be enough 1 star. I assume there's some unhappy customers. So we'll go to the reviews and we'll go to 5 star. And we're just gonna take any reviews here that are more than a sentence and start adding in our examples. Hmm. Let's get rid of that. So, all right. This one says it works good, very thick material. As we're going through this, I'm just gonna kind of quickly notice some of the keywords. Served its purpose well, kept things dry. I'm doing this because I'm going to anticipate that the model might latch on to certain words to identify it as positive. This person saying very pleased with this product. Excuse me. So that's 4. We just need one more. Oh, that's the assignment. And let's get solid tart. Good tart. Greatest tart ever made? Nah. But good, decent tart for 12 bucks. So they're saying it's not the best tart, but it is for the value. It's good enough. All right, so we have 5 positive reviews for the model now. Let's go to 1 star. Let's see if we can find some 1 star reviews. This is saying the tarp started to melt when they left it out in the sun. Saying this is inaccurate description of the length. Person should have known better. The grommets ripped out. First wind of gust. The grommets were garbage. So they're saying it's low quality when it was tested with wind. Here's another one about the grommets ripping loose. And now we have 4 reviews. We got to find one more. Okay. I like this one. All caps. Wonder if that has any effect on the model. We'll see. Sometimes I've actually, when I'm bored, looked at negative reviews on Amazon because they can be kind of funny how upset people get. All right. Now, looks like we have all the data that is asked for. So now we're going to train. Oh, that wasn't train. So where do I go from here? I'm forgetting now. Oh, learn and test. So yeah, that's training is when you upload the data into it. Now we have 5 examples of positive and 5 of negative. So we're going to start training. This might take a few minutes. So far, just to reflect on what we've done and when picking out a product, I think got to pick something with a lot of reviews so that you have enough negative reviews or positive, depend if it's not a great product, but you want to have a good sample size of reviews to be able to input and then test your model. And it's interesting, while you're doing that, if you can yourself see any patterns of things that people like or don't like, because that will probably be picked up by the model. So it looks like it's available, that it's now been trained, and we'll see. So now in order to test it, we're going to go to, let's test negative ones first. So let's see. Let's go to the next page. So we're going to test if it can pick up on its own that this is a negative review based on the model. All right, so we are testing. So this immediately recognized as negative, but only with a 64% confidence. So, that's a little low. I don't necessarily know how they come up with that number, but it just from first glance, it looks like it's not super confident, but it has gotten it right. So let's do another one. This is another negative review. We're going to test it out. Okay, so here we have an issue. It recognized that as positive with 69% confidence, but this was a 1-star review. So clearly the model is not perfect. Let's see what the review said. It said, not 10 by 12, the tarp is cheap, basically plastic, and will do the job, is light duty, but if you need a 10 by 12, because your 10 is that, this will leave you short. So not a lot of negative terms in that, besides, saying it's cheap, but that could be positive that it is cheap, basically plastic and will do the job. This will leave you short. So I can see why, there wasn't a ton of terms lambasting this product, and some of the terms the reviewer used could be terms that were used in a positive review. So that one we didn't get right. The model did not get right. So let's try another one. Let's go keep doing negative here. See if something's wrong with the model here. Okay, again, positive. So didn't get it right. It's saying the fabric was multiple grommets, tarp was flimsy, doubt it would last very long, did not test it does not seem like it will keep. I returned this product immediately after use, but somehow the model had this as positive. So, you know, there's something wrong with our model. Um, I didn't have this issue when I did it the first time with a different product, but it's not, that to me, if, as a human, I read that, I don't see if it's 1 or 5 stars. Immediately, I would say this is a negative review, but the model is saying it's positive. But let's just see, let's test the positive side. So now we're gonna find some positive reviews that we didn't use. Here's one. Positive with 82% confidence. So that's good. It's a short and sweet review. See if we here. Basic tarp. Let's see what it says about this one. Positive with 83% confidence. Here's just a really basic review. What does it say about this one? Excellent quality, good price. Positive with 85% confidence. I'm just curious again. I'm going to try a really basic 1 star review. Let's test that one. Negative with 50% confidence. So it got that right. So again, it seems like it leans more on positive. When we tested it on the positive reviews, it got it right, but it got a couple wrong on the negative. Um, what would I do in this case? I would probably go back and either add more examples of negative reviews or switch them out. Let's see if we can even, yeah, so it's not picking up some of the patterns. And I would think that it just maybe needs more data. It needs more negative reviews. I would just add in examples. Um, and also on the positive side, but negative is where it needs some work. And from there, the machine will probably be able to catch more patterns, key terms that are popping up. Uh, but that is the project. I would say again, reflecting on this is really interesting. The first time I was able to actually kind of look, the this tool here has a little demo of how the machine learning module works with layers and error rate and then retesting. So that was cool visual. So was able to understand it a bit more as we were going through it the second time in this video for me. Um, and I think my analysis on the actual project is, you know, I would say the more data, the better. I think, the reason maybe we had some issues with the model on the negative reviews was that it just didn't have enough examples of different ways people were upset with this product. And so in a new, so it just didn't have enough data to really confidently get accurately label different reviews as negative. That is my guess. I think that having more data, more examples of positive and negative reviews would start to make it more accurate. Um, again, the challenges is just, finding a product that, the first time I did it with a shoe, and all the negative reviews talked about the same kind of problem, which was like the shoe was shrinking when it was left out in the sun or something. So that was really most of the people that were upset had the same issue with the product. So in that case, the model was better at, was more accurate at determining whether it was a positive or negative review because it could pinpoint, this the same problem in these reviews, the negative ones. Here it looks like people had different feedback on this tarp and that perhaps it just needed a bigger sample size. But it's pretty straightforward, like using this program, this machine learning for kids. Is a good introduction into machine learning and just kind of walking through it myself and understanding the basics how a machine learning model is developed. So I appreciated that. And yeah, I enjoyed doing this, and I'd love to learn more about machine learning and testing these types of models in the future. Hopefully, we get to dive into that more in the class. So, thank you for listening. Appreciate your time.